I said I'm not trading.
You didn't say that. You didn't say you're not trading.
Wait, who?
Did I?
You never said you're not trading. That's why I'm harassing you.
Marking him?
Yeah, marking him.
Who?
And we'll see.
This one.
Oh, of course. I'm harassing everybody.
I want to get rid of him.
I want to trade. Nobody trades in my 3 leagues. Nobody wants to trade.
You haven't
Well, I had a
trade
decent
yet.
team finally. I want to see how
It's okay. You
I don't
can
think
trade
you
with
have.
Joe.
No, you
He'll
haven't.
trade anyone at any time. At
No,
any point.
Joe denied my trade.
Seems like it.
He was so
really?
heavy on trying to get Mike Williams in the beginning. Now he doesn't want him. I'm like,
Dude, people change their minds after players after 1 week.
so crazy.
Like,
you want Mike Williams?
Everybody's up and down.
I'll trade you Mike Williams for marking him right. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Apocalypse Movies and our monthly movie show we have going on here. Just for a little breakdown, if you're a first-time listener, we get together at the end of each month and we kind of recap the month or talk about things that we may have watched or things that happened in the past month. There was a lot that came out in August, and I know we're maybe a week behind on getting this out, but there's a lot of good stuff to come out in August. But we're going to kind of be taking a different path on this version of the show, and we're going to be doing our summer movie report cards because summer season is officially over, and we're kind of going to cover everything that kind of came out and give our opinions on our favorites, our disappointments, the best indie, and kind of go through some categories, and all individually. Keep in mind, not a apocalypse consensus is what we usually do for a lot of things. But we're sticking to our individual list because we have an hour to kind of fool around and have some fun talking about this stuff. And the categories for this are favorite summer movie and a runner-up, or runner-ups. A biggest disappointment and runner-up, biggest surprise, runner-up, best indie film, runner-up, and who asked for this, ? Runner-up. And so we have 5 different categories to go through. Before we started to introduce the panel today, we have Jacob Bartley to my left, Keith Barnes to my in front of me, and Brian Avellino to my right, and we're going to be talking some movies. Before we get started, how is everyone doing? Talking summer movie season. Was this list hard to put together?
Yes.
Not really, to be honest. After I started looking at mine, it was pretty clear. There was a few where I was kind of light. I'm like, man, I don't even know if this deserves to be in this spot, but it's by default. So.
Yeah, and I know that it's for you who were listening may be able to run out of the theater every single weekend, but we have jobs, we have lives, and Keith has a family to run, and it's hard for us to get out sometimes, and so maybe there's a gap here, or we missed something that maybe took this spot usually, and so we'll kind of talk about that as we go along. But just to kick it off, we're gonna go right down Main Street on this one from the top to bottom. And we're going to start off with our favorite summer movie of the season. And so, Brian, I'm going to shoot to you first, and then we'll kind of go around in the circle.
So, did we say what qualifies for a summer movie?
Oh, yes, you're right. So, qualify for a summer movie, it's from the beginning of May until the end of August.
Those 4 months.
So, no Avengers Endgame.
Nope. All of our answers would be Endgame.
Yes, but typically the summer movie season is May to August. It's typically when the most big budget movies come out. That's when the mass audience is there. School is wrapping up for some. Summer for kids is July to August typically, and so that's our time frame. And so Avengers does not qualify for this, but everything else in those 4 months does.
Only because they pushed it back.
Oh yes, its typical release is the beginning of May.
They did it with Infinity War 2.
Exactly.
So it would have been in there.
Exactly. So
we probably would have had to say other than that.
Exactly. But yeah, Brian, go ahead, kick us off, man. What do you got for your favorite movie of the summer and its runner-up?
All right, so I feel like I might throw a bit of a shocker for some.
It's a good thing.
My runner-up is Spider-Man. I loved the Spider-Man. This was like the Spider-Man movie that I've been wanting forever, and it was perfect, and it was visually amazing. Loved it. Couldn't ask for anything better. My number one for the whole entire summer was the Peanut Butter Falcon. I adore this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think I have ever gone on social media and be like, go see this movie. That is the first movie I was like, people need to go see this movie.
Both you guys are raving about it.
We got lucky.
I haven't seen it.
We got lucky and got an early screener to go see it. Yeah.
I told people to go see this movie like if it was my job. I don't think I've ever really like done that. I literally called my mom and was like, or in fact, no, she saw it on Facebook. She's like, "What are you talking about? Who's Peanut Butter and Falcons?" And I'm like, "No, it's a movie, Mom. Go see it." And she like legitimately went and saw it and was like, "That was a really good freaking movie." And she doesn't really go see. I mean, I had to reassure her about certain parts that I wouldn't be sad but she loved it. I loved it. Everyone I've talked to has loved it. Blew my mind, especially for the fact that going into it, and Jake knows it, I was not a huge Shia LaBeouf person. Like, I was almost the anti. I still, like, I don't know why I'm so, like, anti him. Maybe
I'm sick of his act, too.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think maybe just because I got so tired of when he, like, went crazy and stuff that I'm just still, like...
Do it! Just do it!
Yeah. Like, I think I'm still, like, holding on to that. But he was amazing in this movie. The cast was amazing in this movie. The direction and the directors that did this movie did it flawlessly. It's in my top 10, maybe top 5 of the year. And if you would have told me I'm picking between Marvel movies and this movie, I would have told you you were on some major drugs. But this movie, I cannot say enough good things about it.
Yeah, and there's also a... So the story of this film is really incredible, but it's also the story that got this film made. I had been following this movie prior to when Brian found out about it when we did the reaction, but the directors were on Collider Live and they told their story, and it's a very like, essentially they were living in tents in a park before they started directing this movie, and they made the movie for the lead actor because Hollywood doesn't give lead actor roles to people with autism, and they made the film around him, or Down syndrome, Down syndrome. And they made the film for him and said, "We're going to make a film for you. We're going to try to do this." And then here's even a crazier story. They got backing from Josh Brolin over Instagram.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
From Josh Brolin over Instagram. And then Josh Brolin's like, "I'll give you some connections." And then they got Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of other names that popped up in this movie that you would not... Bruce Dern was in this movie. Like, you would not expect these people to be in this type of movie. And so there's also that kind of effect on this movie that you look at it and you're like, wow, like they made this film with this starting point. It's a really... And I can't agree more with that. It's one of the best movies of the summer.
It was so good, and I keep saying adore.
It's so weird because it's not really like a summer movie, but it's just like that
Well, it came out during the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Dakota Johnson.
She's one of my favorites right now, man.
She can't do anything wrong in my eyes.
She's doing a lot of good. Yeah, she started out rough, but she's lately she's been doing incredible things. And I've always been
those movies aren't her fault.
No,
I've always been a Shia fan, and so I kind of. But honestly, like he kind of threw himself in like the Oscar race in this movie. Like he's that good.
It sounds like the movie's gonna get nominated for best.
Looking at the trailer, it's amazing. I read all that stuff, and
it's amazing.
I need to run out and see it.
The director commented on our reaction. He liked some of our social media stuff. Like they're very interactive because it's their first time ever doing this.
Yeah.
All they've done is like short films, and so they're very interactive with everybody. But they deserve all the praise in the world.
Yeah, and I think it also like it was so cool. Like we saw it at the Tower, so it was you get like this. Every time I go to Tower, I feel like I'm in like the 50s. It's like an old like feel, and then I'm sitting down watching this movie, and it felt like such. The whole entire thing was like perfect. That movie I adore and will buy the second it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray. Excuse me.
All right, so moving on to mine. The runner-ups I have, because the summer was packed with some pretty good stuff. I'm not going to take too much time, but I have Spider-Man: Far From Home. Might be my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. Yeah. Still kind of sitting back on that one. I have John Wick 3. That movie is just bonkers. And for me, I know a lot of people will disagree with me and they'll probably have it in a different category, but I have The Lion King.
This is your number one?
No, this is my runner-up. But my number one summer movie, because it screams summer movie. It's exactly what a summer movie should be. Is Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs and Shaw is my favorite summer movie of the season because it's exactly what a summer movie should be. So
are you just categorizing it as a summer movie, or you actually like that movie in general over all those movies?
No, there's some movies I like more.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like it as a summer. That's how anybody can take it however they want.
Yeah,
you can take it however you want.
Best movie of.
Yeah,
that's what
I took it for me as the.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because I came out of that movie being like, that's a summer movie.
Well,
like that is a summer.
Him
movie.
and I saw it in the 4DX, so like we're like sitting there, like all this stuff's going explosion. We're like shaking and stuff. So we got a little extra something.
Yeah, it's like when I think of a summer movie, like, and it's they've changed so much in the last so many years. Like what a summer movie is, what a fall movie is, etc. And like even like Brian has the Peanut Butter Falcon as his favorite summer movie, and that movie came out in August. Like it deserves it.
You wouldn't call it a summer movie.
Exactly, but just for me, like what my favorite summer movie is, it's gonna be Hobbs and Shaw. So
yeah,
that really is like such a summer movie. Like
it's a popcorn movie, 100%.
You could see that movie at the drive-in. Like I could totally see like go seeing that at the drive-in. And that movie,
sitting in a chair, kicking my feet up with a beer, and just enjoying my time.
That movie,
definitely an August movie. To say that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We'll save this conversation for later.
It feels the movie and I mean this in a good way. It feels like a Universal Studios ride. It really does.
Hey, and we saw it on a ride, essentially. The D-Box.
Exactly.
So, yeah, even better.
I liked Hobbs and Shaw. It was cool, but...
I liked it the most by far.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's fine.
I think that, to me, is top 3 of all the Fast and Furious movies.
Really?
Yeah. We'll save this because we got to move. We got to keep moving.
But I'm saying, like, for a summer movie, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Actually, okay. Yeah.
So a few honorable mentions are... I still really enjoyed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I gotta throw that honorable mention up there. Good Boys is freaking amazing, and this is
still haven't.
So once I went through this list, I started to realize, wow, this has been a great summer for me because
there's a lot of good things.
It's funny because I keep hearing people say it wasn't a good summer.
4 of my top 5 movies of the year came out in the summer.
Nice.
So
nice.
I have Spider-Man Far From Home, of course.
Is that an honorable mention?
Yeah, honorable mention. Okay. And then Aladdin is another honorable mention.
Such a good movie. Remake.
And Aladdin, Spider-Man, and Good Boys are all in my top 5 of the year. But mine
really?
Yeah.
Good Boys is that good too?
I love Good Boys. It's in
I love Good Boys too.
It's my number 5 spot.
That movie.
But my favorite summer movie of the year, and my second favorite movie of the year, but my favorite summer movie of the year is John Wick Chapter 3.
Yes.
I have not gotten over this movie. I freaking love it. And the funny thing to me is, I didn't even love the first 2 as much as everybody else did.
I still love the first one more.
I like them. But I love John Wick Chapter 3.
John Wick 3 is bonkers. And I only got to see it the one time.
I was talking about like roller coaster rides. Like it just was so entertaining.
That would have been a crazy 4D movie.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's
insane.
not something like nothing I've ever experienced before. Yeah. It felt like, in a good way, it felt like I was watching, like playing a video game, and you keep moving up the level, and you got all these different missions, and then you have this crazy mission at the end, and the ending notwithstanding, I get where you're coming from, Keith. Keith has an issue with the ending of the film, and I almost agree with you. No, I agree with you, but still, it didn't ruin the movie.
No, you could have. I still love it.
You could have just not done that at the end, and it could have ended, and I would have been good. But I freaking love this movie so much. It is the greatest straight up action movie I've ever seen without any, special CGI special effects.
I won't fight that argument. I mean, it is a feat for what they were able to accomplish.
Normally, like you or meaning Jake or Gio would like this movie way more than me.
Like Mad Max.
Yeah,
it's a perfect example.
Like it just,
you guys all
it's more of a
suck for
movie
not
that
liking
you
that,
guys. But I'm the most enthusiastic about it out of all of us. I think. I mean, Jake is pretty enthusiastic about it as well. But
how many times did you see it in theaters?
Twice.
I only got to see it my one time, and I was sitting in the very back row, and it was very hard to see the screen up close.
And I don't even own the first 2 on Blu-ray, but I think is it already out on Blu-ray?
It comes out.
Yes.
No, it's already out.
It just came out, right?
On digital.
No, it's out.
It's been out on digital.
Oh, then I'm going to buy it tomorrow. Thanks, Jacob.
I might buy it on my way home.
Thank you, Jacob.
I've literally seen it.
I love it so much, and I can't wait for Chapter 4.
Keith?
Why are you saying all the way to the back?
I didn't pick the tickets.
Okay.
That's why. You know how I typically am.
You
know how I am. You know
I'm
how I
surprised
am.
you gave up control enough to let
Well, I didn't know. I was texted like, "Hey, I got his tickets." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Gotcha.
Anyway, we'll move on. We don't want to take too much time because we're going to blaze through these categories. But Keith, go and jump on your honorable mentions.
John Wick, one of my own honorable mentions. Spider-Man, of course. Spider-Man. We'll talk about that later. You guys all wait on that. I'm saving my Spider-Man thing for another thing, but whatever. I lost my... Well, this close to making it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because I really...
Wait, that wasn't your number one?
It's close. I should have... I know. Because
I know what your number one is.
I
feel like I know what your number one is.
You might.
Oh, I'm actually shocked you didn't do that.
I'm pretty sure I know what your number one is.
I'll say it's animated for sure. No, it's not animated, actually.
No, it's an animated remake, though.
It used to be animated.
I knew it too.
I know it too.
Oh, yeah.
Flip a coin between...
Dun, 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 dun,
the animated.
dun, dun.
Hey,
Listen,
that
it was between that. It was between
that was
that
my
and Toy
runner-up.
Story.
Wait, so
Yeah.
what is your... What's number one?
Aladdin's number.
Okay,
that was my runner-up.
Very close to being Toy Story, though. It was between those three. Toy Story.
I'm shocked none of us had Toy Story.
See, I didn't put Toy Story on any of my lists because it's too much of a given. The movie's up there
That's
for sure.
kind of how I was.
Up there for sure.
No.
Oh.
Look, this is the Jordan MVP argument. Like, listen, if he's the MVP, he's the MVP. Give it to him. If Toy Story is the best movie, then it's the best movie. But I get it.
It would have been in my runner-up.
It'd be like
it would have been in my runner-up category.
like with Avengers, like you said.
It wasn't even in the conversation for me.
Okay, hold on. Now let's stay on topic. We'll save it. We'll stay on topic. Come on now.
About to get a
So Aladdin number one. This is your all-time favorite animated movie. I mean,
we're gonna get into this one partly. Yeah, Aladdin. I got it on digital. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Whenever it came out on digital, right away.
Yeah.
So you bought it?
I've watched it like 4 times.
It's so good.
I
It's so good.
I love it an embarrassing amount. I love it so much it hurts. I keep saying that. I love Aladdin so much.
It's
so
probably
good.
the best Disney remake.
I think it is for sure, and I really liked everyone. Cinderella,
live action,
but Aladdin for sure. So
the reason it's good is because it also takes liberties from itself.
Exactly. Yes.
It doesn't stay.
It's my favorite Disney.
Well,
movie
that's
for
why
sure.
people love it so much more than Lion King. The Lion King is straight up remake.
I think
this takes its own liberties and we're gonna kind of do our own thing for some parts of it.
Jungle Book challenges Aladdin for me for the best.
And that took liberties
Yeah.
from the original movie.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, with both of those, the liberties were so subtle.
Yeah.
That it almost left you going, was that in the original movie?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what's worked so far with all of these ones.
There's so many different the changes that they made. I'm an Aladdin maniac, so I know the animated one inside and out. So I would see a thing happen in this new one and go, well, that's different. But it doesn't bother me though at all. I like it still. I love it, of course.
Yeah, and it's funny because it also took you a little while to go see it because you were busy.
Yeah, right.
And we were all raving about it. And we hyped it up, and we're like,
we
may have hyped it up too much. And he came back, like, yeah, it's really good.
It might be my number 2 movie of the year.
That's awesome, man.
Wow,
that's awesome.
In a year with a
Tarantino but he also has a massive connection to it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
the animated movie. It's like Movie Lion King.
It's my number 3.
And we
Aladdin.
we still got the Irishman coming. So we'll see. But
Jake's on that Knives Out train.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. It comes out Thanksgiving weekend.
No, we got time.
Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm thinking of what's the one that just came out? The murder mystery one that kind of just came out.
The murder mystery
Isn't
one?
there one?
Ready or Not?
Ready or Not?
Or is that Ready
or Not? Yeah. That's awesome. Brian, go ahead. Next category.
Next category we have is the biggest disappointment of the year. Oh, summer.
I'm gonna start so much crap on this.
Oh, you're gonna leap across.
I'm gonna start. I know I'm gonna start you guys are gonna hate me for this category.
Okay, so my number 2 for our biggest disappointment was The Secret Life of Pets 2. I was looking so forward to this movie.
I thought you enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it.
But you were the hype.
The hype.
It was in your top 10 of the year, huh? For anticipated.
I think so. I was looking forward to this so much.
I forgot about
because the first movie cracks.
Yeah, the first movie was good. First movie was good.
The second movie, I was just left like, okay.
That's fair.
So I was bummed by that one. And then my biggest disappointment, not because it was a bad movie. It was not a bad movie. I hyped, and I already know I did it. I hyped myself up way too much, and the commercials got me hyped up was Booksmart.
Oh, people love that.
It was. Do
get
me wrong.
He came out like meh about that movie.
Really?
Do not get me wrong.
That
was
funny.
not.
I just watched the trailer.
It
wasn't. I liked it.
It wasn't
Is
a
that
bad.
out on Blu-ray yet?
Or
is it out on? Is it
it's
available
on
to rent?
It's on digital.
Yeah.
It's on digital.
At the
I
very.
don't know if it's available to rent yet, but I just saw it on digital today.
Yeah.
For less than $20, like.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I hyped myself up because I love that girl, the one that.
Jonah Hill's.
No, it's
her
name is
the other one.
Beanie Feldstein.
Yes.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's funny.
Literally is like one
Is she
of
the one from Neighbors 2?
Yes.
She's Jonah Hill's sister?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Wait.
Yeah.
She's in Lady
In
Bird.
real life?
Yeah. She's her best friend in Lady. Yeah, she's Jonah Hill's
Holy
sister.
crap!
Yeah.
I did not.
I did not know
So,
That's
off
crazy.
topic, did you see what movie she just signed on to do? Richard Linklater's doing a movie over 20 years, and she's going to star in it.
Are you serious?
No, he's doing another one of those.
And then the
guy.
best friend, the magic best friend from Pitch Perfect, the dork kid, he's the male lead, and she's the female.
Oh
lead.
my god!
And it's over a 20-year span. But it's off topic. It's based off of a novel.
Wow.
And so, but we'll get on that topic some other day. So
Yeah.
look that up off the show.
So I just overhyped it. It's my own fault because I love her. She is funny in absolutely everything she does. She's even in What They See in the Shadow. Or what is it called?
What we do in
the Shadows.
Oh, she's in that.
She's
I didn't know
a
that.
TV show.
And I literally almost peed my pants laughing.
Oh, wow.
She's so funny in it. I love her. So it's a very grounded movie where I was expecting Superbad. Literally like the ridiculousness of Superbad. So that for biggest disappointment, that's my own fault in that.
You gotta watch Good Boys if you want some.
Yeah,
I'm
seriously.
well
Okay, so biggest disappointment for me, I got a runner-up. I have, and these two, they're not bad movies. It's solely based off of my hype. My anticipation for these movies, they were both in my top 5 most anticipated movies for the year. So my runner-up is Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Okay.
And I enjoy this movie. I bought it on Blu-ray last week. I've watched it twice already. I really enjoy the movie, but the movie doesn't hit what I thought it was going to hit in certain moments. There's like the monster stuff is great. Everything else around it is just blah. And I was kind of hoping that they would have fixed that. But I guess that's not what they were going for. But my biggest disappointment, and it's come over time, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it is solely based off my hype. It was my second most anticipated movie of the year behind Avengers Endgame. And I like the movie.
I thought Knives Out was your second.
Okay, it might be the third then.
Okay.
Either one, they might flip-flop, I'm not sure. I like the movie, but it's not what I was expecting, and there's also a pacing issue for me that kind of really drags down. That does bother me just a little bit more than I thought it would. I wanted more, Sharon Tate with Margot Robbie, but I get that it was more of a Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio thing. And again, I was just so looking forward to this movie, and then I walked out like, oh, that's like a good 7. Like, that's like a good 7. I was expecting like a 10. Like a solid 10. Like this was going to be like
when I was
Tarantino's like
list,
Golden Boy.
I considered putting it here too because I thought it was going to be the best movie of the year.
Yeah, so did
and
it was almost.
It'd probably end up in my top 10, but like in the 8, 9, or 10 spot, not in the 2 or 3 spot where I expected it. So, but it's not mine.
So
mine, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So my runner-up, which
all
right, I was more disappointed in my runner-up, but I was less excited for it to begin with. So that's how it ends up being my runner-up. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's The Lion King. Nah, it's all I have to say about it.
That's what I heard.
It's just, I did not feel anything outside of what I felt like. And the thing, it's hard to explain this, but when I'm watching the Jungle Book, right, the remake, it's something different from the original. I don't feel that way watching this movie, and I know you hear the shot remake thing. It's not really literally, but it almost is.
It's as close as you can really.
And I said this before. It didn't feel like, oh, this is what lions, if they did talk, would sound like and what they would say. It felt like this is what modern humans would say if they were lions. That's what it felt like. Yeah. So, we can talk about that for an hour.
You would literally
but
piss on
my biggest disappointment is Godzilla King of the Monsters. just like Tarantino, or just like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I thought this was going to be one of my favorite movies of the year. I was so excited for this movie. Those trailers were amazing, and I still kind of love it because the fight scenes are amazing. The monsters, the mythology, and the fight scenes are amazing. Same with the first Godzilla, 2014, and same with Kong Skull Island. All this mythology, monster fights, all three movies, amazing. Story sucks, and that's so. I
The
was
mythology is so good.
It's amazing,
so good.
So that's why this movie's my most disappointed for the summer. Yeah,
I think it's I didn't see it, and I really like Godzilla 2014, and I was kind of looking forward to this, but you know, it's like when your favorite team is they got a big game in 2 weeks, but they got a crappy game in front of them.
yeah.
And they're looking ahead to the big game next. That's part of my excitement was like.
Well, that's
wait for
the
the
thing.
big one. I feel like that's
knowing
what the
that
filmmakers-
movie was coming, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's kind of why I passed on it. I wonder if maybe that was the case with the filmmakers as well, but I don't know. Because that's next year, right? Isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's in April.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's in March.
Oh,
It's in March of next year.
Yeah, cool. It's like,
Is it really?
like 8 months? Yeah. So,
Jeez.
cool. Yeah, I'm ready for that one. But disappointed. So I just watched this movie, and I'd heard so much about it, and gosh, I was really like looking forward to it. I just watched it Friday. I rented it. It is. I don't know if anybody saw it, but Brightburn.
Yeah.
Jake
we
and
watched
I just
it,
watched it. Yeah.
Feh.
Really?
Feh.
I was cool with it.
I don't think it's bad, but first of all, F that kid.
I know, right? Doesn't
Horrible
he,
human
right?
being. Horrible
What
human being.
He literally like makes you mad,
Right.
right? Like I.
You know what's funny?
Doing.
You know what we talk about? This is a Jacob type of movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's
We
a
literally-
100% a Jacob
You and I
type of
said
movie.
think I
that
would
when
like
we
it.
watched it. Oh,
Wow.
Jacob,
100%. I don't know.
That-
Why do you think I would like
That
it?
and
I
Ready or
don't-
Not. That and Ready or Not. Because you like batshit crazy stuff.
You do.
Maybe I would.
I don't. I'm curious to see what you think of Brightburn.
Oh,
Yeah.
you will love Brightburn.
I think so too.
Love it.
Oh, you guys liked it. You didn't hate it.
No, yeah, I was cool with it. Yeah, I was
I'm
totally cool with it.
curious. I
I mean,
I don't think it's
I
bad.
need to
but
watch
it's just,
so many movies.
well,
I'm
I guess I
hitting
can't.
the
I
red
won't
box
say.
on my way
yeah,
home.
don't
Yeah.
say anything.
Well,
to him.
okay. Dang. Okay. I was hoping everybody's seen it. It's like, okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Disappointing. I was expecting better. Everybody keeps comparing it to dude. It's just like an evil Superman. Superman would never do any stuff. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my
it'd be the Russian one. The Russian.
I don't even I don't even know about that. Just honestly, it's like Injustice. No, it's not. Injustice
No.
Superman's nothing like that.
No.
Anyway, sorry. Okay. Anyway, that's what.
Was that your number one?
Yeah.
Oh,
number one.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
I really didn't see anything that was like, maybe. I mean, see, I was thinking about Spider-Man, but I wasn't disappointed. I loved it. So I think kind of the Spider-Man news is kind of making it kind of tanning it a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But
You know what's surprising about the biggest disappointment list? Nobody said Dark Phoenix.
No, who cares?
Yeah, I feel like that was
Okay.
such a big disappointment.
That
Fair
should be
enough.
the
Everyone was just
why
like,
did we get
that
this?
was like the
Why-
given
who asked
one
for
we're
this?
gonna
Fair
say.
enough.
That's the who asked for this.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Fine.
Next category.
Would be best indie. I've literally only seen 2 indie movies over the summer, yet there are so
Yeah,
many that I
the one that I
wanna
really
see.
wanted to see was The Farewell.
The Farewell.
I
I
wanted
want
to
to
see
see
The Farewell
really
really
bad
bad.
that I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I've
It's
heard-
still at the tower. It's still there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
So this kind of contradicts my disappointment, but I mean I've literally only seen 2. So my number 2 would be Booksmart,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously if my favorite movie of the summer was Peanut Butter Falcon, then it's definitely the number 1 spot.
Yeah. So my runner-up, and I've seen a couple more. The indie genre or the indie type of film is a favorite of mine. I really try to really try to watch as many as possible as I can. And
You really
I didn't realize that this was an indie until I looked it up afterwards, and I just caught it the other night. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Late Night. Mindy Kaling wrote it, and she starred in it
that's the
alongside
one where-
Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
She's a late night host in the film.
I've heard of it.
It's
yeah.
an Amazon Prime movie, but it was made for a very small amount of money. It's a really, really good movie. Emma Thompson is incredible. like incredible. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she got a nomination for this movie. Like she's that good. Mindy Kaling was good in it, but the story overall was really fascinating. And I was more kind of into the hook of Mindy Kaling writing it because she's writing a lot more now. And she's kind of becoming like a screenplay artist, and I was very interested to see how the script went.
It's interesting you mentioned that. I just started watching The Office, and she was a main writer since the first season.
And see, I didn't watch The Office, and I don't know about The Office, but she's starting to write these films now, and she did a really good job with the script, and I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. But the reason why it's not a number one is because the Peanut Butter Falcon is a number one. The movie is just, it's incredible. I'm not afraid to say it. It's battling for my number one spot with Avengers right now. Like I've gone back and forth on it. Like I love this movie so much.
Up to do, man.
I can't wait to watch it again. And again, it's because of the story that I told, with how they got it made and why they made it and the connections of everything and kind of how everybody jumped on board with it for no money. And it's a really fantastic movie that pulls at the heartstrings. It has laughs. It has, you'll cry in it. You'll feel the pain. You'll connect with these characters at moments, and
you'll literally cry happy tears.
There's some of the best comedy moments you'll see in a very long time in this movie.
Too.
And the directors even say that themselves. They said this guy who they've known for a long time with Down syndrome, he played with things. They allowed him to do things. Shia LaBeouf told him, "Hey, let's play with a few things," and they kept him in the final cut. Like it's really fantastic, and so it's up there for me, and it's by far the best indie film and possibly the best movie of the year for me.
I read the story. I think maybe you shared the link because I read it, and
it's incredible.
It's a great story.
It's incredible.
And he seems like
he's a good actor. He's a good actor.
Yeah,
and he's done short film stuff, and he was like, I don't have a chance, and they're like, well, let's make a chance, and they wrote a film for him, which is incredible.
Awesome. He was hilarious.
It's I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, this is crazy because I said I didn't see a lot of indie films, but you reminded me of when you said Amazon Prime Original that we can consider some streaming service low budget movies as indie films.
You are correct.
So now my runner up is Midsommar. I liked Midsommar. Did you see it?
No, but I heard everything
about it. What's your reaction?
I thought you didn't like it. Did you say skip it?
He said save it.
No, I said save it.
He said save it. Save it because of some people won't like it.
All right, first of all,
that's right.
I've literally only seen 2 indie films throughout the whole summer. But I did like Midsommar, though. I did. It's just, it wasn't what I was expecting. It's,
I've heard
because I don't know if you guys have heard of the original The Wicker Man. It's not the Nicolas Cage one. It's the one that was a remake of.
Oh, no.
That movie is amazing, and I thought it was going to be another one of those, and it was not. But I did like it. I think, and you hate
Hereditary,
and I can't think of the director's name, but he's a phenomenal director.
Ari Aster, I think.
I don't think this is like he's going to live by this, but he did come out and say that he doesn't want to do another horror movie again. Or
I've heard that his filmmaking ability is fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. I think he'll do dramas, other stuff very well if you're not into horror.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed Midsommar. It's another one of those Godzilla King of the Monsters or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where I thought it was going to be up there for me and it just wasn't. But considering that it qualifies, my number one indie film of the summer is Will You Be My Maybe. I freaking love this movie.
That's a good choice.
And right now it's in my top 10. I don't think it'll last that long.
That's a good choice.
But I freaking love this movie. It's so funny. It has so much heart. It's not just about the laughs. The dramatic moments are good. And I love how the male lead, his character is
Randall Park.
Yeah, I just love that character, and I love how he's in a hip hop band. It's so cool. I love that.
The style of hip hop is amazing too.
The unexpected things that come out throughout the movie are just wonderful. Yeah. I love Will You Be My Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's the Keanu Reeves scene.
Yeah, exactly.
The 15 seconds he's in the movie.
Original, it made me think, I can count this movie. In this,
the 15 seconds of Keanu when he's walking into the restaurant, he's doing the waves. I'm just like, this guy's God. Like this guy is just
so
God.
Funny. It's so believable too.
That's very true. It's very true. Very true.
That would have been.
Yeah. Keith,
right,
you got any?
Well, the only really Brightburn was the one I just watched. And I just remembered. Now you mentioned the streaming thing. I watched a movie called Point Blank on Netflix.
Yeah, with Anthony Mackie and
Did anybody watch it? Did you watch
I watched it.
It's all right. That was all right.
God, what's his name? Plays
Crossbones.
Crossbones.
Yeah. Grillo? Frank Grillo?
Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a cool
all
movie.
right.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Some good action.
Crazy action, and they're both great in it. I enjoyed that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Netflix makes some cool movies like that, man.
I want to watch the new Chris Evans one. I was going to watch that.
Oh, it's the Red Sea Diving Resort. It's good.
You watched it? Okay,
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. He is specifically really good, and it shows off a different side of acting for him. And that's why I'm so excited for Knives Out, because it shows a completely different side of him in that movie too. But that one's good as well.
So he does. But yeah, Point Blank was pretty good.
Brian, next category.
So our next category that we have is who asked for this. I feel like we're all going to consensusly have one of these movies. My number 2 runner-up was Dark Phoenix. I mean, it was honestly, it just needed to not
be there.
To be there at all. But for me, I hesitate to put this one in as the number 1 for mine. But for me, my number 1 was Extremely Wicked and Shockingly Vile and Evil.
Did that come out during the summertime?
May 10th.
Got it. Okay.
I had to look it up.
The Ted Bundy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which could that have?
Oh, that.
Could that have?
That's an indie.
Indie?
I don't know. It depends on the budget.
Yeah.
It depends on the budget.
The Zac Efron one?
Yeah. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
It was like they were capitalizing off the Ted Bundy craze, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the same director.
Yeah.
As the Ted Bundy tapes.
And
really?
Ted Bundy tapes were freaking amazing.
Yeah. He's a documentary director, and he did this film.
But it just, it left me disappointed to the point where I was just like, really? Like, you literally just grabbed Zac Efron and...
The last 10 minutes of the movie is what the whole movie should have been.
100%.
The last 10 minutes is
Jake's
it's like
100%
your heart just drops. You're like, what? Like, the feeling you get from watching it is what you want from a Ted Bundy biopic.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
He's 100% right. Literally, you were like, well, what the hell? Like, you're like, this is what I was expecting to see, and it was the last scene of the movie.
It was really, when they cast him, I was like, oh, wow, cool.
He was a great casting.
He was perfect.
Great casting.
Okay. She was perfect.
Yeah, Lily Collins
was perfect.
The whole cast was really well done.
John Malkovich was.
I think the approach was just kind of like.
They just.
And the dude that plays from The Big Bang Theory, he's the lawyer.
Haley Joel.
No.
Well, Haley
Joel Osment is it, but the guy that plays the dorky kid from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
Sheldon. Yeah,
he
Sheldon.
Was
He plays the lawyer.
Jim something.
Jim Parsons. There you go. Yeah.
He was gonna. But it just. Jake nailed it on the head. The last scene or 10 minutes of the movie was what everyone, I feel like, was expecting, and they were just like, I was left extremely bummed that that's what I
I definitely still recommend it. Like, if you get a chance to watch it. It's weird because it almost felt like you're watching it, and then they put this dark murderous filter over the last 10 minutes, and you're like, well, that's a different movie.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
maybe that should have been my disappointment, because I was disappointed by it.
But who asked for this? Okay, so my runner-up is Men in Black International.
I haven't seen it.
It's just the approach on tone, and man, Gary Gray has really taken a tumble since his Straight Outta Compton time, which is kind of a bummer. But my number 1 is Dark Phoenix, so we don't really need to get into that. Fate of the Furious was terrible. Fate of the Furious was terrible. But yeah, so MIB International is my runner-up, and Dark Phoenix is my number 1 who asked for this. So
nice. My runner-up is Ma. So I was excited for this movie.
I have that on my phone ready to watch right now.
But
don't spoil it.
I guess I'm more saying who asked for them to show everything in the trailer before.
Oh, that's fair.
Well,
the one scene I remember from the trailer is when the car ran over a person.
Yeah, and this is fair game because it's in the trailer. When she does something to everybody to take the picture, and she sews someone's lips shut, she paints there's somebody's face, she puts an iron in somebody's chest, and they show that in the trailer. And that's, if I would have seen that for the first time in the movie, I would have been like, oh my goodness, she's
especially
crazy.
from Octavia Spencer.
So anyways, she was good in it, but also it had a lot of promise, but the ending is just stupid. Especially,
let me delete that right now.
if I would have left with the shock value of the things that they showed me in the trailer, if I would have just got those naturally in the film, maybe I would have liked it more. But that combined with the ending, which was just kind of dumb, nobody asked for
Double
that.
delete.
Yeah. Was Luke Evans good in it though?
Yeah, but he
Probably wasn't in it a whole lot.
wasn't given a lot to do.
He's such a great
I was
actor. He
surprised he
doesn't
was
do
in
a
it,
whole
to be
lot,
honest.
man.
And my number one is, you guys aren't going to believe this, it is Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
and you didn't hate it,
I didn't.
but you just didn't know why they did it.
But the thing is, yeah, well, they started making it before they knew they were going to sell everything to Disney, so it's...
And then halfway through the production, they're like, okay, why are we doing this anymore?
Still,
you scared me. I thought you were going to say Toy Story. My hand started to reach for my phone. I was going to chuck this right at your head.
It crossed my mind.
Oh my god.
Also, Hobbs and Shaw crossed my mind too.
I could see Hobbs and Shaw,
the
but
thing.
Toy Story,
It's kind of like the summer movie thing. It's like, just because I say who asked for this doesn't mean I think the movie's terrible. There might be a worse movie, and there are, but it's also like, who asked for this?
people could be doing the same thing. Like we probably Gio would have said like, who asked for Aladdin? Who asked for Aladdin?
Exactly.
Like, and those movies are massive to us, but he's probably who asked for Aladdin? He's probably going to listen to this. Go ahead, Keith.
Well, I don't really X-Men. But I don't even care about that movie. Just whatever.
You never run out.
Yeah. But I'm gonna pick one I haven't seen because I can tell you that's what. I don't know if I've seen it.
Well, he can still ask the question who asked for it.
I'm sure who's asking for this. It's Shaft.
Oh.
And I'm somebody that I like the
Richard Roundtree ones.
The other one? Well,
Yeah.
No, the
Sam Jackson one?
The John Singleton one from 20 years ago, I guess.
Yes, Sam Jackson.
I like that one. I thought it was pretty, Christian Bale in it, and I thought that was pretty good. But
those trailers were pretty funny.
Those trailers were hilarious.
Yeah,
I love
but
Shaft.
and
the bullet. Yeah, shut your mouth.
And I'm just looking at the box office.
How was
it made no money.
Jesse
made no money.
The one who plays the son is Jesse something.
He's from Independence Day. Yeah, Jesse Usher.
I'm curious
Jesse
because
Usher.
Because he's, whatever. He's a new actor. He was terrible in Independence Day, but so was everybody else. And then I haven't seen him in that, but I actually don't mind him in The Boys.
The Boys.
I thought he was pretty good in The Boys.
That's A-Train?
He's A-Train.
Yeah.
Really?
He's A-Train in The Boys. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm curious how he does in other.
No, he's
things.
really good as A-Train.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I like him as A-Train
Because they just found him in the gym.
That's
He
what
Yeah, he was
heard,
an
yeah.
actor. He was like, "Oh, you look like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Let's play. You can play Will Smith's
Oh
son."
my god, is that literally
That's
what
the
this
story.
So
He was an
going
actor.
from that to what he did in The Boys is pretty damn good.
And that was in 3
Keith,
projects.
have you watched
Exactly,
The Boys?
yeah.
Projects.
No, not yet.
Oh
You,
my
the
God.
boy, you gotta watch.
I
this.
watched. we were talking
Believe me,
about
I
this.
raved about it to him so much.
Yeah, because I actually just finished Umbrella Academy, which I
Oh, so
love.
good. So
if you
good. That
love
ending.
So yeah,
That ending.
That's
If you
great.
love
It's
Umbrella-
different from the book, but it's
If you love
still
Umbrella,
really good.
you'll love.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
very
that's what-
similar.
right,
They're very
yeah.
similar.
So I'm curious. I'm
So
watching that.
we have our very
Final category.
final category for our summer movie list, and that is going to be our biggest surprise and runner-up. So my biggest surprise.
You runner up.
My runner-up. Was Rocket Man. I was gonna say Rocket Boy. But
I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah.
It has not gotten the love it deserves
No.
because it came out in
watched
May.
it. Yeah.
The movie should be coming out right now.
Yeah.
The movie
Oh
should
my
be
God.
coming out right now. You'll be getting so much more praise.
Yeah. Rocket Man.
Especially
Loved it.
Taron Egerton. It's not a May movie. It should be an October, November movie.
Yeah, 150%. And then for my biggest surprise, for me, was Aladdin. I could not believe how freaking amazing that movie was. And, I mean, Guy Ritchie, at first when I heard him attached to the name, I was like, whoa, like they are taking a chance.
Yeah.
Like, especially coming off of King Arthur, which was a good, or is it just Arthur? King Arthur?
No, it's King Arthur,
yeah.
Legend of the Sword.
Yeah, which I wasn't horrible, but it wasn't amazing.
I love her for what it is.
Yeah, but I could not believe how amazing Aladdin was. I love, for me, Beauty and the Beast. I have Beauty and the Beast is my Aladdin for you, Keith. So like part of me, and especially the fact
I love that too.
Yeah, but I mean especially the fact that Emma Watson was Bella. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Aladdin easily biggest surprise. I did not. It's in my top 10. If you would have said like Aladdin's going to be in your top 10, I would have been like, oh, okay. I'd probably put Lion King above that. But no, Aladdin definitely blew me out of the water for surprise.
So my runner-up for biggest surprise is Good Boys, and it is because
that is a good surprise. I mean, I knew I was gonna love it.
So the reason why is because we always get these comedy movies that drop like red band trailers and stuff, and they're like incredible trailers, and the movies don't live up to the trailers.
That's a good point.
This movie lived up to the trailers 100%, which is why I feel like it didn't
show everything in the trailer.
Exactly, it did not. It showed just the minimal stuff. Like they showed the scene of him getting dislocated shoulder. But there's another 5 minutes added onto that.
Don't spoil
There's
that.
something
Jacob
added.
Tremblay says after that.
Yes.
I won't ruin it, but you know what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Might have been the funniest part of the movie.
It's just the way they crafted it, and it's from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They produced it. Like it's like you had mentioned, it's Superbad. It's their kid version of Superbad.
And it's like they do it realistically too. It's not like they're making these 12-year-old kids, do cocaine. It's realistic for middle school.
Here's what I found out after I watched it. The movie is filmed at Jacob Tremblay's real school.
Oh my god!
That's his real school they go
to.
So that makes it even better. But my surprise of the summer is Aladdin. The movie had, when it first was announced, people got backlash when they announced Will Smith and they gave the first look.
That first little teaser thing.
Everything they did for it leading up to its first trailer and everything was just, everyone was bagging on it. They were not looking forward to it. Guy Ritchie was a very interesting choice because of his directing style. There's a lot of things that weren't fitting for it. But the movie came out and it just blew people out of the water. It made over $1 billion, and rightfully so. I saw it twice in theaters. I enjoyed it even better the second time. Will Smith is arguably the best part of the movie, and he was arguably going in the part of the movie that everyone was not looking forward to was Will Smith, and he came out just like, I'm gonna drop the mic on you guys. This is my genie. I'm showing you what I got, and so it's easily the biggest surprise for me, and it may be the biggest surprise of the year. And it is one of my favorites because I believe it is sitting in my top 10 now too.
Yeah, so. Jake sang the songs for like 3 days straight.
Dude, I was playing them nonstop.
Every second I hear.
I can't wait to get that song on vinyl. I cannot wait to get it on vinyl.
Literally every time. Alexa, play the
Aladdin. Yeah. Or the whole album. The whole album.
Okay.
A Whole New World's my favorite. Yeah. And the new rendition they gave it to it with those two, I loved it.
Prince Ali is.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite.
That's my favorite.
That's a lot of people's favorite. Yeah.
So, my runner-up is actually Child's Play.
You're the only one who's got to see that of us.
I like Child's Play. I told you guys that I like Child's Play because I love the update they did to he's a robot, and because all these AI things exist in our world, and to me, it's kind of almost realistic that this doll could. I don't think we're too far from this type of scenario
not at all.
in the future.
Well, I hope
so.
Not.
And you said it before. He's like a mini Ultron in a way. And I didn't even know they were going that route until late, like in the second, third trailers. And I just thought that was so cool the way they did it and the way they handled it. And it's not done cheesy. It's really not. It's crazy. The first half of the movie is all build up in a good way, and it makes you feel kind of that the boy and the doll have like a relationship that you kind of get attached to, and then the turn is kind of, it hurts a little bit. So it's the way it's not a bad movie, and I think it deserves a lot more credit than it's getting. And my biggest surprise, I would say John Wick Chapter 3, but it's weird because I just love that movie too much. It's hard to say it's a surprise. I don't know.
John Wick Chapter 3 is in all of his categories.
But yeah, it's everyone thing but the disappointment. It's just leading.
But my biggest surprise is, here's the thing why, because like John Wick Chapter 3, my excitement was here, and then my results were here. Aladdin, my expectations were here, and my results were here.
Is that your number one?
Yeah, it's Aladdin. Biggest surprise is Aladdin. I was so shocked. Same reasons. Anticipation wasn't that high, especially after the first look, and I liked the casting of Will Smith, but I was like, how is that going to work? And it just didn't look that great at first.
And we didn't think it was going to be blue.
Blew me out of the water. It's my number 3 movie of the year. I love it.
It's your number one movie of the year?
Number 3.
Oh, I thought you said number one.
no.
I was like, what?
I thought that.
I misheard it. I was like,
Jake,
whoa!
Jake was in mid-text and just went,
Number 3 movie of the year. Sorry, I have Invisalign in.
You're good. No, I misheard it, so you're good.
We all know the answer to that.
Keith, what do you got, man? Finishing it up.
I can't wait to. I hope this blows you guys away because it's not Aladdin. It's my runner-up because it's one of those where I'm kind of like how you are with John Wick. Like I'm surprised, but not really because I
Not too surprised. Yeah.
I
I was more surprised by Aladdin.
and we
than John
told
Wick.
you, like,
no, you did, but
go see the
still-
freaking movie.
Yeah, you see, every movie I see, especially ones that I'm really looking forward to, I go have that moment like right when I sit down, like, oh man, I hope this doesn't suck. 'Cause, like, you know, like let's get that moment of doubt, like, what if this is not good? But so it's not that, but you know how I feel about Aladdin. But
Did you even have that moment in Endgame?
no.
Okay.
Not really. Yeah, I trust him. But no, it's I hope this blows you guys away. I just watched this the other day, and I really liked it. Detective Pikachu.
What? Nice.
Oh my
biggest
god.
I'm surprised that wasn't on your list.
Good movie, man.
I was
I liked it.
putting
I don't know.
Pokemon
I
disappointing.
don't know anything
I
about
am blown
Pokemon
away
at all.
by that. I was not expecting
Neither
that
was I.
at all.
No. See, as he was leading up, I'm running through my head like, okay, what came out in May? What came out in June? I totally missed the mark that came out in May.
Yeah.
It's
good.
different
I
for
really
our
liked it.
generation because I played the hell out of Pokemon. Played the hell out of
That's what I was
Pokemon.
telling kids.
It's a
almost
brand
is-
new thing for you.
It
Yeah,
was
and
almost
kids'
on my
books
runner-up
are-
for biggest surprise, to be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about it, but it probably would have made one of my lists.
I wish that the same thing like how my daughters are with Harry Potter, like they're Pikachu, they know everything about Pokemon and Pikachu, all this. They know every single one. Well, that one does
Really?
this.
Oh,
That one does this.
wow.
That one's this and this. Do you get those when you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm asking them all these questions and stuff, but it's good. I really liked it. I thought it's pretty good. I
I
kind of
saw
heard
it
mixed
twice
stuff
in
about
theaters. I liked it. It could have been better.
and I can see
That's
that.
how
For
I
me,
am.
I grew up a Pokemon fan too.
Right.
Not as big as Brian, but I was a huge Pokemon fan growing up. So I was a little bit disappointed, but
Yeah.
I thought it was going to suck too. So
Right, that's kind of
was-
I heard kind of mixed stuff, and I was thinking about you guys and stuff, but they liked it, and I thought, and I knew you guys were really excited about it, and I know you guys what fans you guys were, but just me being somebody that, like I said, I don't know anything about it, but I'm like, this is okay, this is all right.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I liked the kid. What was he in?
Justice Smith.
Was it one of the Jurassic?
He was in
Park?
Jurassic World
One of
2.
those,
He was in
Yeah.
Jurassic
One of
World
those,
2.
and there's something else he was in it. Was he in Bumblebee? Was the kid in Bumblebee?
No,
See that guy?
I thought that was.
That's the kid
Oh,
from
that's him.
the kid from the beginning of Far From Home on the news.
That is him.
The kid
isn't
from
it?
Bumblebee is the
Okay,
beginning
yeah,
of the
you're
news.
right.
I didn't
you're
realize
right.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they look
It
very much.
is?
Like,
It's the same
yeah,
kid.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
About that.
Wow. Well, they look.
You
very
know, the
similar.
girl is from Big Little Lies, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. That saw it. I went.
Oh.
Hey. Oh, yeah. That's all right. But yeah, it's
That's cool.
It's good. I liked it.
No,
I
that's
liked it a
that's
lot.
cool. I wanted. It's not that I didn't like the movie or the concept. I wanted a battle movie, and that's
Me
coming
too.
from a
Exactly.
Pokemon person.
I can.
So did
I wanted a
That's
battle
what
movie,
My oldest
you
daughter
know?
tried to say.
And I hope
Yeah.
that this movie, now that they did it, they kind of lead into
I was
that.
gonna say I'd like to see more. And
Like maybe
whatever that is, I'd like to
because
see
they
it.
talked about it in the beginning how he used to train. Maybe him finding his father and everything.
Right.
Maybe he gets back into training.
I'm
And so maybe he's the trainer we follow, which I wouldn't mind.
glad that we're not going to see the talking Ryan Reynolds Pikachu anymore. That
Yeah.
was the best,
Yeah.
smartest move they made because
I liked
it would get it. Yeah, but
I know that's
constantly
not like
over.
him.
Well,
Yeah, I
and
get
they
it.
literally can't now.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
unless
literally-
Yeah.
I guess
no,
they could.
yeah.
So,
And when I was watching it, kind of like, okay, I mean, he's doing Deadpool, kind of pretty much.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But
It's
I get it. But
Deadpool
I
Pikachu.
hear what you're saying. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
actually.
don't know.
It's funny because I was looking for a way to put that on like disappointing, just because of like me being like a
Well,
Pikachu.
you could
Pokemon.
have. It doesn't mean you hate a movie.
No, yeah, I was like, it was still good though. I still finally got a live action Pokemon, so I can't really complain. But yeah,
Bill Nighy is. I know we gotta go, but just
Yeah.
real quick, he's a little kind of doing that villain kind of lecturing thing where he's lecturing the hero right in the middle.
Tells
of the
everyone
There's
exactly
definitely
what
parts
plan.
of the movie that I
Yeah.
hate.
So I was
but
kind of watching it going, all right, come on, get to the.
I didn't mind it overall.
But,
the classic villain that tells you his whole entire plot and
Yes.
plan.
yeah. And first of all, I'm like, how'd they get Bill Nighy in this movie? But
Because he's not doing a whole lot.
I guess.
I mean, he did the Underworld
Another
movies
Pirates
forever.
movie.
They don't need to do a lot to
He
get
was
him
in
into the
those, that's
movies.
right, yeah.
But yeah, there it is, guys. Our summer movie report card, diving into a bunch of different titles. honestly, I'm very happy that it was very diverse with all the different type of movies that we got put on the list.
I'm shocked. 3 out of the 4 for surprising was Aladdin.
Well, it was just the lead up to that movie.
And with 4 out of 4, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by that.
Yeah, exactly.
Surprise.
But yeah, so there's our summer movie report card. We'll put the layout for the report card in the bio. That way, guys, if you guys want to do it yourself and leave them in the comments, you can. You can fill it out. Leave us in the comments. We'll check them out for you guys. Just a heads up, the show may be shifting a little bit in the future. We've been throwing around some ideas and maybe officially signing on for a weekly show on camera, which will be still audio on iTunes and SoundCloud, but also up on YouTube that you can watch and maybe see our faces for the first time if you've never seen us. So check that out in the beginning of October. We'll kind of be putting the bearings on it and debuting it then. Very similar concept, but just on video form. And so check that out and everything else we have going on Apocalypse on YouTube and iTunes, Instagram. For the boys here, Jacob, Keith, Brian, myself, thank you again for listening to us, as always, for our August version of our monthly movie show, and we will see you guys next time.